Much of the country is under an extreme cold alert. Frigid temperatures stretch right across the country. Environment Canada says the deep freeze could last right into the new year for parts of the country. Now, something is causing this deep freeze, and we know who has that answer. Dave Phillips, the senior climatologist with Environment Canada, joins me now from Barrie, Ontario. We always love chatting with you. You're in Barrie, and let's be frank, you're minus 17 degrees Celsius. That's not so bad as other places across the country, but how are you coping?
Well, I'm just staying indoors, Hannah. I didn't even go out and get a coffee for myself this morning. But when I look at those temperatures of minus 50 wind chill in Churchill or minus 25 for the high today in Winnipeg, I don't feel as bad. I think there's always somebody else who's more miserable than you are, probably. So that's how I cope with it.
So you were going through some temperatures there, but it's minus 22 in Edmonton, minus 29 degrees in Regina, minus 31 in Winnipeg, and that's just to name a few cities without the wind chill attached. Yes. What are the conditions that have led to this cold snap?
Well, you know, Hannah, I think in many ways, nature set us up. I mean, we had in the prairies, for example, if winter had ended on the first day of, if December had ended on the first day of winter, it would have been one of the warmest Decembers on record. And it was almost as if it was just a total reversal. We saw the Arctic air, really Siberian air. This weather is Siberian air, came across the North Pole. It's part of a polar vortex, which can strike fear in everybody's hearts, even Canadians. We're a cold country, but not this cold. And it just poured right down. So this has been the first wave of it. And, you know, Hannah, often you can be kind of just eased into kind of winter. So we've gone from, you know, rather balmy, tropical kind of conditions. I called it a prairie heat wave in December. And now it's probably it could be the coldest moments of the entire winter that's engulfing 8 provinces for most of Canada. And people are just different degrees of coldness. And you're right, we haven't embellished this all by including the wind chill.
So you're actually blaming the Russians here for the Siberian cold air?
Well, listen, I can assure you the people in Texas who are facing this Canadian weather, they're complaining. They say this is brought to you by Canada. And we look northward and we see, well, it could be from Alaska or it could be Siberia. But no question about it, this is air that would be brutal in any standards. And what's so interesting, Hannah, is that there are no extreme cold warnings out for Yukon, Northwest Territories, and Nunavut. I mean, there were moments here where southern prairies were colder than the North Pole. And so it really has been. And what happens, this cold air, Hannah, is like molasses. It fills all the nooks and crannies and sticks there. It's hard to kick it out. So it has duration to it. It's not just a one-day wonder. It could very well be 10 days to 2 weeks before we get rid of it and get something that's more hospitable.
So not a one-day wonder, but I think people are sitting back going, how long then?
Yeah, I think that's when you get this cold, you begin to think, well, okay, when's it going to come to an end? And this is just the first wave. I think we're already acclimatized to winter, so I think whatever nature can throw at us later on, we'll probably be okay with it. But we see it on the prairies, for example. We think that by certainly the middle of the first week of January, we're going to end the year on this. We're going to start the new year on it. But they could see some temperatures that would seem tropical. I mean, high in Winnipeg that might be, say, on the 7th of January of -5 or -6 compared to the minus 25 or 30. That will seem like a heat wave from the south, for sure.
Dave Phillips, always a pleasure to talk to you. Stay warm inside, and we look forward to that tropical weather that's coming in January.
Okay,
maybe.
Hannah, thank you.